And now we're back as we proceed to the first session of the first Ifugao Terracess Assessment Summit. So for this session, or what we call the session one, it is called, or the theme for session one is called the current conditions and trends of the Ifugao Terracess. In this session, we intend to answer the following key question from the Ifugao Terracess assessment goal. It says that how have the ecosystem services of the Ifugao Terracess clusters changed in the past 30 to 50 years on the following extent? Letter A, provisioning services that includes the farmland, the forest, and inland ecosystems. Number 2 is on the regulating or supporting services. Number 3 is on the cultural services, and lastly is the biodiversity. As a backgrounder, let me read to you the assessment goal from the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, which this research project or assessment is using. This session or the assessment focuses on the linkages between ecosystems and human well-being, and in particular on ecosystem services. An ecosystem is a dynamic complex of plant, animal, and microorganism communities and the non-living environment interacting as a functional unit. This assessment deals with the full range of ecosystems from those relatively undisturbed, such as natural forest, to landscape with mixed patterns of human use, to ecosystems intensively managed and modified by humans, such as agricultural lands and settlements. The assessment posits that people are integral parts of ecosystems and that a dynamic interaction exists between them and other parts of ecosystem, with the changing human condition driving both directly and indirectly changes in ecosystem and thereby causing changes in human well-being. So this is the background of the session for today. And to give us the picture of these changes that happened in the Ifugao Terracess for the past 50 to 30 years ago, we will be listening to the reports from our partners and officials from the local government units and non-government organizations on the data that they can present. So we will be listening to 4 different Ifugao Terracess cluster reports on the socio-demography and socio-ecological landscape of the Ifugao Terracess. Let's start off with the Banaue cluster, particularly on Batad and Bangaan Terraces cluster, to be presented by Sir Samson Cabbigat, the Municipal Planning and Development Coordinator of the local government unit of Banaue. Sir Samson Cabbigat is also one of the pioneering member of the Terraces Cooperative. Yes, so Sir Samson, please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all of us. And thank you to the University President, Dr. Eva Marie Codamon, for inviting the local government unit of Banaue to this activity. So thank you very much. And good morning to all of us participants. Okay. The municipality of Banaue was created in June 25. I will just discuss a brief profile first of our municipality. It was created in June 25, 1963. So it's almost 59 years. It's appropriate to this activity of assessing our rice terraces. It is located in the northernmost part of Ifugao. So we are near Mountain Province, and Banaue has 11 municipalities. And it is a 4th-class municipality. It has a total land area of 22,000 hectares. This is updated from the forest land use plan conducted by the DNR. So we have updated our land use, comprising of 18 barangays and 1 economic zone with 358 CTOs. It has a population of 19,437 with 4,342 households based on the latest CBMS survey conducted last year. Banaue has a population density of one per hectare with a population growth rate of 0.33%. Very low, very low. So, 2 of its barangays, Barangay Batad and Bangaan, were inscribed by UNESCO in 1995 as a World Heritage Site. But in 2001, it was listed in the danger list because many of the rice terraces is being abandoned and some of poor maintenance. But in 2012, it was again reinstated as a World Heritage Site because of the restoration programs of the local government, the national, provincial, and the municipal local government. It's a concerted effort of restoration that brings back the reinstatement of specifically Bangaan and Batad as a World Heritage Site. So the land use of the municipality of Banaue 50 years ago, you can you project it in the slides, please? If you can see, maybe you can proceed it, project it here. Okay. We can see here those colored yellow are the Sweden farms, actually. Almost 50 years ago, those are Sweden farms. And I know you will agree with me that there's no more Sweden farms now. Mahabal. So when I was young, I used to go with my grandmother, my mother, to the habal to, of course, carry root crops and legumes being harvested there. But obviously, we could not see any more Sweden farms now. And that's the change 50 years ago. The present, comparing it to the recent vegetated cover of the municipality of Banaue, can you forward it to the next slide? I have. Can you project the file 2 of my my presentation? Can you project that? It's not that file. It's not that file, please. You can see there. We can see in that land use of the municipality of Banaue conducted recently by the DNR and the local government unit of Banaue that we could not see any more Sweden farms. It's more, almost all is forested anymore. Already all is forested. So that's the picture we can see in our land use right now. There's no more habal, there's no more Sweden farms. Mostly of these Sweden farms before are converted now into forest lands. So that's the change 50 years ago as far as our land use is concerned. 10% of the land use of the municipality of Banaue is devoted to annual crops. That includes the rice terraces and other vegetable crops. Specifically for barangays Batad and Bangaan, the rice terraces of Batad covers a total land area of 1,279.76 hectares. That's based on records conducted by the local government unit. And 83 hectares of the land use of Batad are devoted to rice farming. For Bangaan, there's a total land area of 668 hectares, and 80 hectares of their land use is devoted to rice farming. The demographic change of population over the past 50 years, we can see in the graph that it has been slowly increasing. The population have been slowly increasing, except in the early 80s and 90s, that has a big shoot up in population, but it slowly decrease again in the next following years. Maybe because of the intensified family planning program of the government. Maybe, we do not know. Banaue in when it was created, a part of the municipality of Hongduan and Hingyon was a part of Banaue. So in the graph, you can see here the population change in the 80s, wherein it drops because some of the barangays of Hongduan and Hingyon was when it was created, it had become part of the municipality. So that's one reason why, as you can see in the graph, the population have dropped down because of the population. Some of the population of Hingyon and Hongduan was already included in the record. For specifically for Batad, the same. It has been increasing over the years, and it drops down again in the late 2000, and then it had been there's a small increase over the years, and it's the same with the barangay of Bangaan. Next slide, please. As you can see in this graph, there's the rice terraces of specifically for barangays Batad and Bangaan. There's a collapse majority of the rice terraces, and based on study, about 4 to 5% of the rice terraces was abandoned because of for reason of majority of the reasons is out migration. People mostly out migrated to the neighboring provinces of Nueva Vizcaya, Isabela, and Quirino. The municipality has a total of land area of the rice terraces of 1,120 hectares, and based on study also, 330 of hectares of the rice terraces were abandoned. And just recently, about 100 plus of these hectares, based on the restoration program of the local government, were already being restored. Next slide, please. The biodiversity of the ecosystem of the rice terraces is very rich compared to if we are going to uh, to compare it 50 years ago. The richness of the biodiversity of the rice terraces is slowly sliding down. Many of the indigenous plants and aquatic resources within the terraces have been lost. And specifically the tinawon, which is an important part of the biodiversity of the rice terraces, is slowly being lost. And this is one of the things that our cooperative, the Rice Terraces Farmers Cooperative, is trying to revive, in order to revive also the biodiversity of the rice terraces. The tinawon is really important. When we tried to revive the tinawon in almost 10 years back, we have observed that some of the aquatic resources in the terraces, like the ginga, started to come out. So I think there's a correlation between the tinawon rice and some of the lost species within the rice terraces as part of the rich biodiversity of the rice terraces. Even plants within the terraces, like the asola, which is used to be a major fertilizer component in the traditional farming system, is getting lost also. And I think this is one thing also to consider, to bring back some of the lost plants that is very important, the rice terraces, especially in its rich fertility of the soil. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. This is some of the most important aquatic resources within the terraces that have been we cannot anymore see it. That is also a part of the richness of the biodiversity of the rice terraces, especially the ginga, the native batikol, and the tiam. So I think the main reason there is the biodiversity of the rice terraces was disturbed, and it will only come out when we try to revive the biodiversity and ecosystem of the whole rice terraces system. One very important plant that is considered vulnerable and endangered in Bangaan. There's one plant there that needs to be preserved and to be studied more, because this is also an important plant that needs to be preserved. The scientific name is the Letocarpus ovalis. This was a study conducted by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So as you can see, almost 50 years ago, the biodiversity of the rice terraces has been threatened. And based on present observation and studies by the local government unit, people are going outside to seek for greener pastures. And as presented also by earlier, the younger generations are now are not so much interested with rice terraces farming. And I think this is the main reason why the rice terraces is slowly being abandoned. Some reasons is because of low production and because it's high labor costs. There are also things to be considered that like the replanting of indigenous trees should be prioritized also. The conversion of the rice terraces into vegetable gardens should be more considered seriously by the local government, not to encroach the rice terraces, and some aquatic species introduced by from outside have become pests in the rice terraces, which is a threat also to the biodiversity of the rice terraces. And Banaue, as a prime tourism destination, it is also threatening the integrity of the rice terraces. Tourism business activities is being conducted in some are conducted in the rice terraces, rice fields itself, which needs to be regulated by both local government and all stakeholders to really protect and preserve, especially Batad and Bangaan as a World Heritage Site. So the biodiversity and the ecological balance of the rice terraces is the major consideration in sustaining the rice terraces. And I think those are the major considerations to be considered based on study and data presented 50 years ago. And that's all. Thank you.